Good landing by Endo. Performance was good until the very last second. When he hit that floor, he stepped back. Endo's mark is 9.8, which looks pretty good, but I have to see how Akinori Nakayama now performs. Well, that step back may have cost Endo a gold medal. Beautiful movement there. And again. Twist in the air. She came away and landed. A very appreciative roar from the crowd. And Nakayama goes away to be greeted by his teammates. Well, will he beat Endo? 9.9 out of 10, remember. That beats Endo, so it's a clean sweep for the Japanese. Nakayama in the center is first for the gold medal. Endo has the silver, and Mitsukuri on the right has the bronze. Presented by Mr. Kondo from the Japanese Union. Well, that winds up the men's individual championships. The vault, by the way, was won by Matsuda of Japan. Kato of Japan was second. Nakayama of Japan was third. So of the 6 individual titles, 3 went to Japanese gymnasts, 5 to Russian, and 1 to the Yugoslav Cerar. So we move on now to the ladies' championships, and the first exercise we're going to see is the. This is Erika Zuckold, the number 1 from East Germany, who's lying second to Czaslavska. Each girl has 2 vaults, and the better mark of the 2 is the one that counts. A very nice flight on and off the horse, but just that slight step forward, a very slight step. You are allowed a slight step forward as long as it doesn't mean to say that you're losing your balance, which is probably what Ellen Berger is telling her there. You won't lose any marks for that step forward as long as it doesn't mean you've lost your balance. If you step to the side, or it's obviously you put too much weight forward, well then you will lose 0.1, 0.2, 0.3 according to how bad the step is. Second vault. Oh, that wasn't as good at all. About 3 steps then, so I should think that the first mark will be the one that comes. There's the mark, 9.733. Should be good enough to keep Erika Zuckold of East Germany in the lead. So, Ms. Czaslavska in the lead, and the vault is certainly Vera's forte. She won it in 1962, World Championship. She won it in the Olympic Games in 1964. She won it in the 1965 European Championships. And that is a perfect landing. No movement whatsoever. Czaslavska in that midnight blue leotard with the red and white piping around the edge, the Czech national colors. Amazing how her mood changes. Just before her exercise starts, she's absolutely straight-faced as she composes herself. Once she's competed, a big smile spreads across her face, and now she's getting ready for the second vault. Again, very good indeed. Here comes the mark. 9.833 wins the gold medal for Czaslavska once again. Zuckold has the silver, and Kuchinskaya wins the bronze. Now we move on to the asymmetric bars. Top one 7.6 inches high, and the other one about 5 foot. This is Natalia Kuchinskaya coming up for her exercise now. the feature of this exercise is that both Kuchinskaya and Chestaska have exactly the same mark. Again, it's suspension and flight between the bars. There shouldn't be any pauses at all, only if it means changing position like that. A good exercise by Natalia Kuchinskaya. Natalia's mark, 9.8. Well, now, they both have the same marks, remember. Chestaska here and Kuchinskaya started off with the same marks. 9.8 has been scored by Kuchinskaya, so that's the mark that Chestaska has to beat. That little slip from one bar to the other always raises a murmur from the audience because they think that she might have missed, but in fact she hasn't missed at all. That's part of her routine. Good finish. Don't think there was quite the overall content of the program of Kuchinskaya as a Kuchinskaya, but the mark is 9.666, which means that Mitsukuri here could, in fact, overtake Chestaska. Ikeda of Japan, Hayata has now scored more than Chestaska, so Chestaska at the moment is in the bronze medal position. Now, if this girl does extremely well, she could even push Chestaska out of the medal positions. And it was a good one, too. Kamiko Mitsukuri, her husband, we saw receiving one of his medals a little earlier on. Mitsukuri scores 9.8. Chestaska's out of the medals. The gold went to Kuchinskaya, the silver to Ikeda, the bronze to Mitsukuri as we move on to the beam. Now, you may remember the tension that was in this building during the overall championship when Chestaska was working on the beam. On that occasion, Kuchinskaya had set the standard and Chestaska had to beat it. A little slight wobble there. Same thing has happened in this case because Kuchinskaya was leading Chestaska after the set and voluntary exercises. The only sound in this building now, apart from the cine cameras, is the squeak of the gymnast shoes as they turn on the beam. Ripple of applause and the audience saying shh, because the gymnast must have complete silence during the exercises. Oh, she's lost her balance. A flourish, she brought it back, but that certainly was a loss of balance. And a step back as she landed. A very good performance, but a slight wobble at the beginning and a loss of balance at the end, and that could make a tremendous amount of difference to Miss Chestaska. Already